Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of From the Fourth Line. My name's Emma. I'm joined, as always, by Marcy. And today, we're joined by a very special guest,
Drumroll,
our
please.
Cal. Cal's
Hi, there was some very dramatic Jamie Drysdale news, and just suddenly I was summoned onto the podcast.
yeah. So for those, we're gonna talk. Unlike we usually do, because we usually start off the show with the Leafs, we're going to start off the show with not the Leafs. We're going to talk about the Jamie Drysdale trade. But it was very, very funny because we had finished recording on Monday. The podcast was being uploaded. And then Marcy gets the most heartbreaking Twitter notification.
No, it wasn't even
July 1st.
Instagram.
Oh, it was on.
I just opened Instagram to be like, oh, I'm just gonna check my DMs. And then the first thing I see is Ducks trade, and then my exact words were, "What the fuck?" and then I didn't. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like some weird fake account that I'd accidentally followed. So I went onto Twitter and I was like, "Please don't be real." And bear in mind, this entire time Emma is sat there like, "Oh my god, what? What's happened?" Thinking
my exact words were, "Who got traded?"
So I was sat there just like, what the fuck? And then I was like, I check it and I just go, Jamie Drysdale's gone. They traded Jamie Drysdale.
And then I start laughing. And I felt so bad.
Then tears did leave my eyes. I did cry. And then I sat in silence for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That was the only valid response, to be honest.
At the same time that Marcy said Jamie Drysdale got traded, I then got the Elliot Friedman notification and was like, holy crap. Can't believe it. It's actually, they did it. Which is so weird. We'll talk about it and we'll talk about everything. But then we immediately called Cal and was like, Cal, join the team.
Leaf suit pics.
Ooh. we are interrupted by William the Turtleneck.
Oh,
Is that a new road suit from Mitch Marner? Breaking news. Breaking news. Mitch Marner is in a new road suit. This is breaking news on the podcast.
Mitchell.
Oh, it looks good.
Oh, swipe to Nice though.
Matthew Nice.
Oh.
Lord have mercy.
My favorite thing is that for some reason, Tyler Bertuzzi and Matt Domi are really good friends. And it's really funny because have they ever played on the same team?
I don't think so. Why does Austin look like a lesbian?
Usually it's Mitch who looks like a lesbian.
Yeah.
Also, the wired headphones? He has two different headphones. He's got wired headphones in his ear, and then he's holding a pair of Apple AirPod Maxes
with a case.
With a case.
I'm not being funny, but the wired headphones.
You're rich when
Apple headphones handbag is the that is a lesbian. I'm sorry, that's a lesbian that works at a local ethical coffee shop.
He defo forgot to charge them. Got halfway to New York, went fuck, and then just clamoured for his bag to find the wired ones.
Or he's like me, who for some reason in the coat that I wear all the time, there's just a pair of wired headphones from random reason. I'm like, I've not moved them out of that pocket. They just are there now.
To be honest, I've sold more wired headphones than I have wireless headphones, and we sell 3 different types of wireless headphones and 1 pair of wired headphones. So, there's clearly still a market out there. May the market just be Austin Matthews?
Yeah. It's just Austin Matthews and his emotional support headphone handbag.
Well, now that we've been distracted...
I guess we did start off with the Leafs.
Yeah, I mean, technically we did start off about the Leafs. But yeah, so the Jamie Drysdale trade, I think, is probably I don't know how you would quantify it in terms of emotional reaction. on
Here's
the
most of the
scale
draft.
of Wayne Gretzky to LA? Like,
It
where
would
does
you
it
take
fall
Wayne
on that
Gretzky to
scale?
LA and you multiply it by like at least 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, sorry to Jamie Drysdale, he's not Wayne Gretzky. So the
No, he's
return is.
better than. How did you see his point last night?
I did because I was
Good
watching the
Wayne.
game.
Wayne Gretzky did not do that.
Listen, he's not Wayne Gretzky, but he is one of my 2 emotional support defensemen, which arguably makes him more important than Wayne Gretzky.
True. Yeah.
It's
So
time we start a conversation. Is Jamie Drysdale better than Wayne Gretzky?
Podcast immediately cancelled.
we've said
I
some
am-
pretty crazy stuff on this before, so not the first time.
Yeah, I said Justin Holt to the All-Star game, so I don't think anything can get worse than that.
No, but so the trade was though, because this is where the story really is Anaheim traded defenseman Jamie Drysdale and a 2025 second round draft pick to Philadelphia for the signing rights, because he's not signed to a contract, to Philadelphia for Cutter Gauthier, who was a 2022 fifth overall pick. He's currently playing at Boston College and just has recently come off of a gold medal World Juniors win because he's American. So the true story there, though, that really came out, I think, is the big one is that the reason for the trade, and I'm trying to remember if it was not Gauthier himself who said it. It was the Flyers organization said that he did not want to sign with the franchise, aka the Flyers, and was avoiding them and not taking their calls. And I think that's where the true story is the fact that the reason he got traded is because he did not want to sign in Philadelphia. And it's interesting because apparently they'd been shopping him around at the draft last year.
Yeah, I think the reactions that everyone has had, I've not been a fan of.
No.
Because I'm like, he is still a child, might I add.
Yeah, he's 19.
Let the man exercise his right to not want to work somewhere he doesn't.
Yeah. Not that there's
Like-
anything wrong with Philadelphia. I've heard it's
No.
actually a very nice city. But
like if some like I'm not being funny, like you don't physically own him.
as much as it seems like that,
As
but
much as it seems like you don't own him. You can't make him play somewhere he doesn't want to, because it's like at the end of the day, if you did, like I know for a fact if I was being made to play somewhere I didn't want to play, I just wouldn't try.
yeah. And you see that with, I'm not going to say, like, I feel like if I say, oh, you can see that with Pierre-Luc Dubois, but
Oh no,
I mean,
yeah, no.
yeah, you can see it with
I
Pierre-Luc
had
Dubois.
that in mind. I
So,
was like, yeah,
yeah,
make a little PLD situation.
yeah. But I also like, I think part of the reason, and I think the reason why the Flyers came out so strongly in the PR schmear campaign that they did, that had a very, very vocal fan base because it's Philadelphia. Turn against Gauthier was part of the reason was Gauthier's camp never gave the Flyers organization why, and I think if they had done something as simple as given them, like, it didn't even have to be public, right? As fans, we didn't have to know about it. But I do think maybe the Flyers deserve to know, like, hey, this is why I'm not signing with you. So if you want to, like, at least even like not even as just a like, hey, maybe you should tell your potential like future employer why you don't want to work for them and why you want to go work somewhere else, but also just so it's like as like just courtesy, but also as like a, hey, if there's something wrong with our organization and we want to be able to keep draft picks like you because you're kind of what we want to build our team around, or at least have our team be like, is why, like, what we need to change.
Like, there definitely should have been some more communication than there was, because it doesn't make either party look very good.
No.
in their reactions to
It's just
everything
a
that went
messy
down.
situation.
It's messy on yeah, it's a lot of he said he should, especially then you throw in the Kevin Hayes stuff as well.
Oh, yeah.
That was fucking wild. How did that even happen?
That is just a reporter with a bad source not confirming it, and then when that happens, you get John Tortorella yelling at you in a press conference in a post game.
So funny.
That
Oh,
John?
at that point, you'd never hear from me ever again. Because he's one of the, like, coaches I wouldn't want to cross from the things I know about him. Like, I would like to be on his good side at all times.
Like, oh, absolutely. And you hear, like, the players who are on his good side, they love playing for him, right? So it's like he's one of those guys where I'm like, I feel like I would play really, really well under John Tortorella, but, like, I would not want to make him mad. And so therefore, I would do everything to not make him mad.
Yeah, I'm such a people pleaser that I would be having anxiety attacks over, does this man like me?
does this like 60-year-old man like me?
I'd be like, would you like a present?
Can we just
Please
point out?
accept my gift? Please like me.
Yeah.
Can we just point out that the Flyers flew out Jamie's parents?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so sweet.
I want to cry. Like,
Yeah.
that is so, like, because obviously it's like a big moment for him. Like, he's just been traded. He's like
Unexpectedly as well, because he wasn't expecting. He
it
wasn't
was very
asking for a trade.
unexpected. Like, I saw someone on Twitter say he had like a pair of swimming trunks and like 3 shirts, and I'm like, you know what? Vibes, but Jamie, babe, that's not the right.
Well,
clothes.
he was in Nashville, and I saw a lot of people who were like, a lot of people assumed that he didn't join the team in Nashville. I saw people saying that like the team knew about the trade for a week, and I was trying to find information on this because I was like, if this trade was going down for like a week and they still had Jamie, because he was in Nashville when he found out about the trade, the team, that's where the Ducks were playing next. I was like, if they knew about this trade for a week, there's a whole other like thing that you have to open up there where you're having him travel with you and whatever. But like, I strongly doubt it because I feel like that's just like a certain group of Ducks fans on the internet making up things so that their little narratives can be true, or I don't know. Yeah. Not to point fingers at people, like but it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think that's true information. But he was in Nashville, and the Ducks next play, like, we're gonna play Carolina, and then like their schedule was pretty, like, it was like Carolina, Tampa, so they were saying pretty south. So he is definitely not packed for Philadelphia winters for sure.
Nope.
My thought process was, and I explained this on the call, was I wasn't in the belief of, oh, they knew. I was in the belief of maybe they knew just before they got on the flight.
And like, he was left in Anaheim.
Yeah, like, I think I said that they told everyone to arrive for the plane at 11 and told him 11:30, and he just gets on the plane, realizes no one's there, and then he hears it's to Philadelphia, and he's like, wait. Like, that was my theory. Was they flew him onto a plane to Philadelphia and didn't tell him?
No, but he was in Nashville, and he was hanging out with guys with the team. I just wonder how that wine fridge is going to get back to the East Coast.
No, because the grill as well. Wasn't that Jamie's grill in the end?
It was
Jamie's grill.
Like, he's got to get that grill and that wine fridge over, and I'm quite worried.
And his guitar.
Oh god, and the guitar! Oh my god, I think Jamie truly got half the stuff in the divorce, didn't he?
Jamie won the divorce.
I also saw some people being like, oh, I hope, like, can't believe he has to wear orange. I'm like, he was wearing orange before. Like, the Ducks also wear orange.
It wasn't a controversial opinion.
Oh god.
I prefer Flyers orange over Ducks orange.
I mean, the new orange is a nice shade of orange.
I love it. Also, I would like to point out, hi, Emma's dad. I am actively trying to swear less.
Yeah, my
it's difficult.
welcome. Well, we opened up the podcast with you swearing, but my dad did send me a text the other day being like, love the podcast, listened to it on my way to work this morning. Maybe swear less. Good job, though.
So what
I
I'm
did
hearing.
just hold myself back from saying cunty. Although I did just say it then.
Well, you said it now.
Oops.
Sorry, Dad.
It's fine.
Sorry.
I'll make up for more of the
Sorry, Dad.
swearing. I'll do all the fucking swearing this episode for you two. And then you'll never
And then
see
we'll
me
never
again.
have you back on.
Emma's
Banned
dad's
from the
got me.
podcast.
Cal is very much, this is going to only make sense to a very niche group of people, but Cal is very much trying to become Clemon Novalak right now.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm clawing my way in.
Marcy doesn't get it because Marcy does not.
Uh,
But
We're gonna open the can of
gonna-
worms that is screaming meals on you one day, and you're gonna hate every second of it.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Especially because you're drinking wine right now, and
Oh,
that gives Clem vibes, because Clem's always just there with a glass of wine.
bring back Clem's wine corner.
Oh my god, I miss Clem's wine corner.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Marcy's wine corner.
Yeah, it was like, I think also as well, like the Drysdale trade, I feel honestly just sad for Jamie Drysdale. I think it's even interesting that the fact that the Ducks are they're in a state in their rebuild where they have everyone on the table, it seems like, as well, because there has been a couple of Trevor Zegras trade rumors now in the past
I'm-
couple of days.
It's gonna be so I'm gonna be low key. How do I say it? It feels weird because it feels like the Ducks have like grabbed a bunch of players from the draft and have gone, here's our rebuild. Trevor Zegras, Jamie Drysdale, Mason McTavish. I'm gonna pronounce Leo's second name wrong. and I
Carlson.
hate that. Leo Carlson.
It's
like they said
exactly
that.
like Eric Carlson.
That's
C,
good.
just with a C instead of a K, yeah.
And then, see, I'm dyslexic. That C and K difference literally breaks my brain.
Ruins lives.
And then they've got like older group Troy.
Yeah,
and
Troy
stuff, and
Terry.
it felt like, oh, they're getting all of these young players, and they're getting these. They've got these pretty good older players. They're gonna try and get back from being bottom of the fucking league table like they were last year. And then it's like, it's seemingly, it feels like it hasn't worked considering they're now
Still
they've
not.
traded Jamie.
Yeah.
Trevor could possibly go, and it'll be interesting to see if Trevor goes, B, where they send him.
Yeah, I've heard like every team under the sun being thrown out there. I think one that I now I don't know if this is any substantiated rumors at all, but like one of the teams that I kept hearing. Now I don't know if this is like actual anything or if it's just people saying that it's a thing and then it's just a group of like it's whatever my Twitter is giving me. But like like the New Jersey Devils keeps coming up and I was like, the New Jersey
No.
Devils are not gonna buy into
No.
Trevor Zegras. That's not happening.
got
But like
Jack
Montreal
Hughes.
is one of those teams that I've seen thrown around, which is just weird because they're so far out of the playoffs right now.
Well, they've
but
just
it's-
made a trade, haven't they?
Yeah,
Trevor Zegras
for
now.
future consideration. No, they
That
gave up the future
14-year-old.
considerations. That 14-year-old right now. I hope you're enjoying life. You could be a Buffalo Sabre.
Oh.
But yeah,
I think the New Jersey Devils rumor is nothing more than Jack Hughes just sitting in there being like,
please. I actually don't know who the GM for the Devils are,
Jack
but he's
Hughes.
probably it's Jack Hughes. It's Jack Hughes. It's Jack Hughes on Luke Hughes' shoulders in a trench coat with a fedora on.
yeah.
That's the GM of the New Jersey Devils. But yeah, like I think as well, like I don't watch a lot of Ducks hockey because Ducks hockey usually happens at about 10 p.m. my time, and
Yeah, that's
I
bad.
can't stay up that. I see. This is the thing. You guys can gang up on me with your co-Britishness, and I have to sit here and be like, I don't like West Coast games.
10
Emma,
p.m.
You're a minority now.
Yeah. Like 10 p.m.'s bad. I once stayed up at 3 a.m. just to watch Jamie Drysdale. And look how
The
worth it
thing-
became now.
Hey, well, at least now he's like actually in not an awful time zone.
Yeah, he's gonna be in that like 7 p.m. like that 7 p.m.
Yeah, like the Leaf.
12 a.m. time zone now. So like,
Mm.
still can't watch because I'm still either in college or work every day.
Yeah, but it's for me, like if you look at the Ducks lineup, I think it lacks an identity. Like you could say, oh, well, they have Trevor Zegras. Trevor Zegras, unfortunately, apologies to Ducks fans, is not an identity, if that makes sense.
No.
Does that make
Yeah,
no, but like
I think, like-
but like for your team, he's not a team identity.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can't
And,
make a team identity around a Michigan goal.
But we can sure try.
Oh
and
yeah, you can
they
try.
have. Like that's the thing. It's like you can't
mean, you can make
base
your
your
own
entire
personality.
team around one Trevor Zegras, because it's like I'm like in the I don't. If they trade Zegras, I'm not being funny, but like, what has that team actually got going for them social media wise? Because
Nothing.
Mason McTavish is basically dropped off the face of the earth. Fuck knows what his social media presence is like. A bit miserable. Like Leo Carlson, I love him to bits, but also he is not very active on social media. Like the pod, I kind of feel bad for like Ducks fans on Twitter, like that specific group of them, because if Zegras goes, what happened? Do they just deactivate? Do they combust?
Yeah. I also think as well, it's like, I think you also have to look at like you failed at doing a rebuild.
Oh, they
Mm.
failed so hard.
Yeah,
So-
because Jamie Drysdale was supposed to be one of the faces of the franchise, and you failed because you gave them up. Not to say that Cutter Gauthier is not a bad he's a great return. He's a very
Oh, yeah.
very high
If he
prospect. Has had
signs.
a really if he signs. Now I feel like now we don't know if he had any say in which team, or if it was just if it was the Flyers going, hey, whatever team bites is the team that bites. But like Gauthier is currently in 17 games played in the NCAA for Boston College. He has 23 points. 13 of those are goals. So
Look at him go.
very talented. Very talented. So obviously he's going to bring some talent, and that he's a center left wing. So that center position for the Flyers is very, very stacked as is right now with a lot of the young prospects that they have. But it's a very interesting team that they've built that I don't know how successful it'll be. And you have like not to be a Leafs fan and be like, oh, looky here, but look at the way that the Leafs have rebuilt themselves since 2013 essentially is when they decided, okay, we're going to blow it all up. You know, they lost to Boston in game 7 and then we're like, okay, self-destruct. Everyone's gone. And what do you get out of it? You get William Nylander, Morgan Riley actually was there 2013. But you get
He's been there.
Yeah, he's been there. He's the only player still on that team who was there in 2013. That's how
Says
long
a lot
Morgan
about
Riley has been with the Toronto Maple Leafs. But you have William Nylander, who you picked up. You have Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, and then you've signed free agents in John Tavares, and this is so bad. I'm like thinking about what other big guys have come to this team and like who have, but you know what I mean? Like, and then you've made in John Tavares, and then you've made trades as well, and you now also have more young picks that you've recuperated now later drafts. They're later draft picks, but like, Matthew Knies is going to be a future for this team. You've managed to develop goalies as well in Joseph Woll and Dennis Hildeby, where that tandem is going to be spectacular, and I'm so excited to watch it.
Those three are going to be really, like, the three younger guys, so the two goalies and the forward, developed correctly, which they clearly are. They're going to be massive for this team in the next 5-10 years. I don't know how long people stay on hockey teams for.
yeah,
I'm too new to this. I don't know how long people stay on hockey teams.
You know,
As-
I have as I've said multiple times before, Joseph Wall and Dennis Hilderby will win the Stanley Cup for the Leafs, and I will be seated.
Yeah, but
You can call me delusional all you want. Emma, you call me delusional a lot.
oh,
But they will.
it's what I do every episode, at least once an
yeah.
episode.
But they will. They will win the cup. They will win us the cup. I know it. I feel it.
But
And
yeah,
when they
so
do, you can all get fucked.
but yeah, for sure, definitely. Like, anyways, Drysdale seems to, as of the one game that he played last night, in Philadelphia against the Habs, put up a point. He seems to be enjoying it. He said very positive things about, his one game experience. They've already given him the dog mask and made him bark.
Where's the
Which-
video?
We
Where's
need
the
the
video?
vi-
Where's the
we need
video?
the
Where's the
video.
video?
We need the video.
Need.
Rocket flyers.
Yeah, I don't know. I
mean-
don't know. Yeah. You guys have anything
have
else to
this-
add?
I have this tweet from Charlie O'Connor, who is a writer for the Philly Sports, and he just put thoughts on Drysdale. He's a candidate to be a rover, not just a defenseman, but a rover, which essentially means you can put him anywhere.
Yeah.
That's the
And
one
that's
thing. It's
after
like
one game.
everyone, like, as devastated as I was about the fact that he's no longer on the Ducks, and it was like, yes, it crushed me emotionally, and yes, I will take years to recover, but it's a good trade for him personally, just because he is gonna get treated so much better. there, and
Yeah.
he's gonna get the ice time he deserves, and he's like very clearly already he's gonna end up being like a core part of the team, and I love
Yeah,
that for him.
and Torts has, like, John Tortorella has spoken very highly of him actually already, and if John Tortorella is speaking highly of you, it's a good thing.
Well done.
After one game,
After one, right? Like,
played one
okay,
game, and like he's already been called a rover.
John-
So like,
okay, John Tortorella. Also as well, like,
Slay
it's closer to home.
Jamie Drysdale.
He's playing closer to home as well, which has to be good for him, like, mentally.
Yeah.
He's a Toronto boy, like Jamie Drysdale's from Toronto, so Philadelphia is
Bring him on.
much closer. Bring him. I mean, his contract's up in 2 years.
Bring him home.
okay, so my 10-year plan is we're gonna get Jamie at the end of this contract, and then I know he was signed in for 7 years. But if we just pick up Owen Power and run, and
In this 10-year plan, can we also acquire Jeff Skinner?
sure, why not? We'll pick him up and run. We'll just take both of
For
them.
my mental
They're
health.
in the same
and
building.
planning.
This has just turned into the new McDavid to Toronto.
But funnier,
Yeah.
Funnier and
more unhinged.
more
But I suppose like you're
more
funny-
popular with the online contemporaries.
Gay people.
See, the marketing. All we need to do is we get them over. Marketing goes up dramatically. Unlike the Ducks, who I think now, if they trade Trevor, have only got Disney Day going for them. Because like
Yeah.
that's
The
fun
Ducks-
marketing.
Yeah, the Ducks are such a funny franchise, though, even just in concept, because the only reason why they exist the way that they do is because Disney made a very popular hockey movie.
I'm sorry, but that one image of when they announced the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim and fucking Michael Eisner with the little quack thing, and I'm going, you run one of the biggest companies in the entire world, and you're doing this with your life, sir.
Like, it's
Michael Eisner's
it's
my
so
Roman
funny.
Empire.
That's like because I don't know if people are fully aware of the Ducks and their history, but the Ducks used to be called the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Because the reason why they exist is because Disney made the Mighty Ducks movies and they got really, really popular to the point where you know what? The NHL saw an opportunity and we're like, hey, do you want to own an NHL franchise? And Disney said yes.
Do you know?
Eventually, those rights have changed. The cow barn, wasn't it, or something? It was something
No,
cow.
it was the duck pond.
No, it was not.
I'm pretty sure it was the duck pond.
That's actually ridiculous. See, Disney's a joke. Eventually, the rights changed, like the ownership rights changed. It's no longer owned by Disney, and it's no longer called the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Unfortunately, bring it back, and then the jerseys changed, and now the jerseys suck. So.
Disney got rid of the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, I think, just before they went on to win the Stanley Cup, so they missed out by a season.
It's so unfortunate because now they're stuck forever winning the Stanley Cup in those ugly-ass jerseys with the logo that doesn't make any sense, instead of winning them in the glorious, lovely purple and teal Mighty Ducks colors that I think are far better and way superior. That they bring back and they're like, oh, look at our special third jersey. And we're like, just make it your whole branding because it's obviously better.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of current Ducks jerseys. I don't think many people are.
Do we want to talk Leafs though as well? Because we do have to eventually talk about the Leafs and their game against another floundering California team, the Sharks.
What a game!
The Sharks.
What a game!
Yeah, so a quick little thing though, before the game on Tuesday, at practice, we had a Joseph Woll sighting. Joseph Woll was seen on the ice in full gear, getting some light practice in. It was the first time the fans and also the media have seen him on the ice since he got hurt in Ottawa on December 7th. I was at that game. Emotionally traumatizing. According to Sheldon Keefe, though, it was his second day back on ice on Tuesday, and that he had also been back on ice on Monday. Just probably not a part of the Leafs official practice, so no media saw it. But there's still no timeline on Woll's return. But then in an article from The Athletic, it was like a Leafs notebook. Woll is expected to travel with the team on their West Coast road trip next week.
Exciting.
Oh my god.
Marcy's gonna cry again.
No, traveling with the team doesn't mean that he's going to play any games, but it does mean the fact that he's on the with the team on the road is definitely good news for his return to being on the ice.
It means we'll get photos of himself in a little box somewhere. And that's enough for Marcy. Marcy makes a little bit that.
Yeah, for sure. So then we'll talk other things as well. There seems to be another flu bug going around the Leafs locker room. Apparently there's something that's just going around Toronto. And everyone's getting sick in the city of Toronto apparently right now. So
when will I know peace?
Yeah. So but it does mean that on Tuesday, Gregor was out because of illness because he had gotten the ill-fated bug, which means Robertson was in on the third line, and then Holberg fills in for Gregor on the fourth. And surely this will end well because at least one of them will score.
Hopefully.
Setting us up there. But yeah, so I mean, I do have a notes for the game that just are just pretty much it's every goal. But I will say Morgan Rielly, way to go. Austin Matthews. Actually, that goal was insane. The Austin Matthews goal. But I do want to focus on the Pontus Holmberg goal because is that your that's your Pontus Holmberg puck.
It's my Pontus Holmberg puck.
All right.
I just want to say before we get back to it, David, also, the ringside reporter.
Yeah, what does David also said?
Just accidentally leaked one of the phone numbers for
No!
phones around the New York Islanders ring, but just put happy post not realizing a phone number was revealed, and I'm like, I hope someone has called you now. Because apparently they get spam calls on the phones in the arena, but he originally posted it with the phone number intact.
That is so
David,
fucking-
not again. Remember when this happened at the draft with the Rangers and
Oh
it
my
was the social admin that no one likes because she called like Rangers fans contemporaries?
Oh my god, her.
Yeah, it's that social man. Oh, I had to repost not realizing a phone number was revealed. Somehow scam callers called me here too.
Oh, David.
Oh, I don't think we got it.
Oh, David. Hey, David, what can you tell us? Are you
God.
live on the show?
David, you're on record right now. Are you okay with this? And he's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
David, you're
did
live
it.
on. Oh my god. So I don't know if you guys saw the video of the Pontus Holmberg goal.
No.
His bottom hand was not on the puck from like the blue line to the time he scored.
That was genuinely one of the best things I've ever seen. And do you know what I'm about to say? Leafs legend Pontus Holmberg. And you can't even say anything about it because that was the goal of a Leafs legend.
That was
Future and
really,
current.
yeah. It was. I think also I just love the shot of the bench reacting as well. Mitch Marner.
Oh, it was so.
'Cause
It was everything.
At intermission, Mitch Marner did say that Pontus Holmberg is his favorite NHLer ever.
Yeah, and you know what? When I saw
He's
that,
just like, for like us, for real.
he is-
Absolutely,
when
Mitch,
I-
come on the show. We also love fourth liners.
Yeah, when I heard that, I did giggle and I did kick my feet. It was a big moment for me, personally, as a Pontus Holmberg lover.
Oh, absolutely. Another thing as well, joy for Sharks fans because they did score a goal. Henry Thrun with his first NHL goal because of course. And I don't know if you guys saw me in Katie's replies on Twitter. I did some research on some stats because I often talk about the fact that I love the little random stats that really don't mean anything at the end of the day. And one of these was about if the Leafs allow more first NHL goals than any other team. And the thing is that kind of. The answer is kind of. According to morehockeystats.com, I don't know how accurate they are of a hockey stat website, but if you go back to the league was expanded beyond the original 16, so the 67-68 season, the Leafs are 10th with 152 first overall goals, which really isn't that great. Like they're not first. First is like Dallas, which is kind of weird. But even on this season as well, like the Leafs have allowed 3, which ties them for second. So like I guess the Dallas have most with 4, but then the Leafs are tied with the Capitals, Sabres, and the Ducks, who are all 3 pretty bad teams.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
They're getting worse as you went on with that list.
I mean, the Caps aren't doing too great right now, but so it is just one of those things that's interesting to look at that I'm like, oh, I guess the Leafs, like it seems like it happens all the time that the Leafs are allowing like first NHL goals.
We like a comeback. And I'm not just delusional.
Yeah. It's not even like they only did it once last year. So they've done it more this season already and we're only 35 games in than they have all of last season.
Still got a whole half season to go. Let's fucking do it.
It's like these too many men call too. It's like I feel like we haven't gotten one in a while. Now I'm knocking on wood because I feel like I haven't because now that I've said it, they're gonna get 2 tonight.
Oh yeah.
As well also because we're the show that we are. Simon Benoit with his first point as a Toronto Maple Leaf. Gets an assist on Jake McCabe's goal, who apparently now has become like an offensive powerhouse
Why not?
for some reason, which all the power to you, but
Good for him. Yeah, it was a huge moment for Simone Benoit enjoyers
yeah,
all
he had
across the world.
he had a good game. He got an assist, got his first point, played really, really well defensively, drew a 4-minute high stick penalty, came back from getting his nose stitched up, and then laid a really big hit on his first shift back. So I think he had a great game.
Like,
He
I don't know
lived,
if
he
it's not,
served
like, we enjoy
cunts.
when people get hurt, but watching him skate around the ice covered in blood.
Marcy, reminder that both of my parents listen to the show.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
She's gonna
I
tweet it
enjoyed
later.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You can tweet it later. My parents listen to the show.
Hi, Emma's parents, by the way.
Mitch Marner scores his second goal, second of the night as well, and that puts him at 4 points for the night. Which he passes Frank Mahovlich to become 7th in Leafs all-time scoring. So
look at him go.
it's one of those things where you can watch him, like you watch him do stuff like this, where he also, his 4-point night also has him pass Frank Mahovlich for second 4-point games in franchise history, second to only Daryl Sutter. Daryl Sittler, sorry, not Sutter. That's a different Daryl. Both hockey guys. But as well, also from NHL PR as well, he's like, I think he's like, Mitch Marner's only like, what, 2 points off of 600, right?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. So
tonight,
if he scores 2 points tonight, which is very likely because he seems to have gotten his groove back that he was lacking at the start of the season. In 545 games, can require the fewest games by a player in Maple Leafs history to reach 600 career points. Daryl Sittler, with 584 games played, currently holds the distinction.
Oh.
Mitch Marner, and it's not even like he can do it with so much time. Like, it's not like it's like, oh, he has to do it in the next 2-3 games. He has to do it in the next 39.
He's got time.
I feel like
he's got the rest of the season.
He might just about manage. I don't know.
Yeah. So, I think it's really great. It's one of those things where it's like, I remember watching him get drafted because I was in middle school and watched the draft, and now to look at a kid who grew up in Toronto, get to, have all these accomplishments for the team he grew up cheering for is something that's really, really special. And, you could see potentially his number put into the rafters for the Leafs. And it's one of the... Anyways, you can think about it. I texted Marcy my thoughts, and then I think she nearly killed me for it. So...
I did.
Marcy's nearly killed most of us at some point.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, for
and
sure.
I will continue to nearly kill you guys for a long time.
I think as well, like, the Leafs are not playing down to their opponents like they used to, especially earlier this season, because they could have very easily played down to be like the Sharks, and it could have been a miserable game for us to watch because we could be like, you're playing the Sharks, you should be beating them 7-1. Instead, they are like, oh, we're gonna lose to them 4-3 in overtime, and we're like, what are you doing? But they haven't been, and I think part of that is Jones has been really solid in net for them. Now we can talk about the Leafs goalie situation in a little bit as well, because there's some news regarding that. But it's refreshing to see them not playing down to their opponent, especially when you have an opponent like the Sharks that are so, no offense to Sharks fans or Sharks players or the owners, they're bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, some news as well that came out of on Wednesday. Leafs recalled Ilya Samsonov from the Marlies on Wednesday, and they sent down Hildeby. Interesting. He's been gone for 10 days? Dennis,
We like to bring people back and forth that whole way a lot.
Yeah, the only problem though with Samsonov is that, you know, in order to send him back down though, is he has to clear waivers, and Samsonov did face media today at practice, well, after practice, pregame, and said, you know, just he missed being with the team. You know, the mental aspect was hard of, you know, being sent down, but he's excited to be back with the team, and because, you know, the guys in the locker room, it's a family, blah blah blah, and it was really really sweet, and I was like, oh my god, Sammy. And I think also part of the reason why is because, you know, Martin Jones was playing so many games for you as your starter that Dennis Hildeby, you know, we talked about it on Monday's show, just how many days it's been since last play. What are you gasping about?
Trevor Zegras broke his ankle.
Yeah, I was waiting for a moment to say this. He's going to be out for approximately 6 to 8 weeks.
In the same game, Pavel Mintyukov, I still don't know how to say his last name, suffered a separated shoulder and will be out approximately 6 weeks. Shit. Okay, well, we were actually going to talk about, I had a whole injury segment prepared as well.
Well, you brought that right up really quick.
Yeah, I just wanted to get through this, like, these couple of things about Leafs goaltending, just about the fact that, like, Hildeby was sent down because he hadn't been playing any games and they wanted him back playing games. He was also named a AHL All-Star. Go Dennis. And then also just a little thing that was kind of scary on Wednesday. Knies leaves practice early with lower body injury. Turns out he twisted his knee awkwardly and was at Thursday practice and said himself he is going to play. It was something that was worse in the moment than it actually was, but like the video of it didn't look good. But as someone who twisted her knee on the way to work this morning because I slipped on an icy sidewalk, yeah, it happens.
It's bad when it happens, then you're like, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah. Well, now we can talk about injury stuff because that was all I had to talk about the Leafs. The Leafs take on the Islanders tonight, and then play on Friday against the Avalanche, and then back-to-back in Detroit on Saturday. But yeah, injury time.
Trevor Zegras, right off the bat. So on Tuesday, he left the game against Nashville with an injury after an awkward fall into the boards. He was placed on IR today, but then as of 6 minutes ago, it was announced by the Anaheim Ducks on Twitter that he had suffered a broken ankle, as we said. Wow. He just came back from injury too. Like, he's been back for all of 6 games?
Yeah, it's not been a good season for the Ducks.
No, it has not. No, it really hasn't.
Oh my God, we reported this before Elliot Friedman. I would just like to. We are the. This is true sports journalism right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look.
Get on our level, Elliot. Honestly.
Elliot Friedman is probably. No, actually, he wouldn't be doing the broadcast because it's not a Sportsnet Leafs broadcast.
Ooh. Where is he then?
He wishes.
Someone get him quick.
But yeah, that kind of sucks for the Ducks for sure. That rhymes.
It's just Ducks need to employ me. I will fix their marketing.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. That sucks. Yeah. I mean, that is going to make him less valuable to trade, obviously, because trading an injured player isn't always what you want to do. So I guess that kind of kills those rumors that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, you don't know how desperate they are. They might trade for another 14-year-old like Habs just did.
Yeah, who knows? Also as well, just some other injuries because I have literally a whole list. I have almost a full page.
As you do.
Yeah, as one does. Update on Connor Bedard. He underwent surgery to repair a broken jaw. He will miss 6 to 8 weeks. This includes the All-Star game. So it's unsure how the league is going to run their injury selections, replacements for the All-Star game. If they will replace it with a player from that team, so each team has a guaranteed representative. But at that point, who do you send? From like teams like Chicago, or if they will just replace it with people next up in the fan voting, which ends today. Who knows? We'll find out.
What did they do last season? Because Austin Matthews ended up having to drop out last season.
They replaced him with Barkov, Panthers captain.
So could we possibly be looking at them for possible third
Potentially.
option being placed with a Toronto player?
Potentially. I think that's only what's fair to happen because, you know, if you were to replace Austin Matthews with a Toronto player, like you should have replaced him with William Nylander. In my he was having a really great season last year and he's having a really good season this year. So
Also,
send William Nylander.
In regards to Leafs to the All-Star game, the official Toronto Maple Leafs Twitter account retweeted my Morgan Riley edit to the Great War.
They've really been pushing
think-
Morgan Riley, haven't they, this time around? It's like,
Yeah.
I get, and
He deserves it.
Obviously, he deserves it, but I think it's really interesting how they have been seemingly because they pushed quite a few people, but he has seemed the one they've pushed the most, and I'm happy with that because he is like the longest serving. We've put him through the trenches, give him a little treat.
Yeah.
Enrichment time in his enclosure.
Also some more information as well. Linus Ullmark from Boston leaves Tuesday's game versus Arizona in overtime with lower body injury after making a save. He was not at practice skating today. Same with Poitras and Carlo as well. And then as of 35 minutes ago, Boston Bruins have made a roster update where they have they've recalled goaltender Brandon Bussey from Providence and placed Brandon Carlo on IR. So
Why is it such a miserable time to be a goalie enjoyer?
everyone's getting
I'm
hurt.
not having fun at all right now.
It's fine. We still have the Elite Ice Hockey League.
Alex Oldale.
If no one else has got my back, Alex Oldale's got my back.
Some other injuries as well. Jack Hughes week to week with a shoulder injury, and much to Marcy's dismay, it was announced today that Buffalo forward Jeff Skinner out week to week with an upper body injury. Because we do not post.
Too bad.
No.
Week to week
but
could be worse.
I'm sorry. What was that? What was that? I didn't hear that. No.
Jeff Skinner's out. For those who, because we don't post these with video. For those who don't know, Marcy is currently covering her ears while we tell her the news about Jeff Skinner.
At least it's not like the poor Trevor Zegras people who have to suffer with 6 to 8 weeks. Week to week is more manageable because it could be like 2 weeks.
Joseph Woll was also described as week to week when he first got injured.
Yeah, have we considered how fucking miserable I am about to be?
Marcy's
I have some good news though. Colorado captain Gabriel Landeskog was seen skating today. It was said to be his first skate back since he has missed most of the past 2 seasons. He missed all of last year and is also expected to miss all of this year as a result of multiple knee surgeries. So
I'm so happy. But also, do you know what makes me really, really sad?
Back on the ice. What makes you really sad?
He's back on the ice, but Eric Johnson isn't there.
Okay, you know what? You keep doing this to yourself.
Yeah.
At this point, I didn't even say anything. I just was reporting on E3.
I need to make you guys miserable for a little bit because
I'm not even an Avs fan.
I'm fine. Like my players are doing all right.
Like, heavily endeared by. Are you not invested in like the lore?
I am invested in the lore, but also I can appreciate the lore from a distance.
You guys will just never understand me.
Will it make you feel any better if I tell you that Buffalo Sabres just released their game night lineup and your goalie is in goal?
I need to put him in my fantasy lineup.
Was is that brightened up your mood?
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
just
so
glad for
speaking of
the
that,
sake of
I'm not
my.
being funny. At the Sabres defense, if you can hear me right now,
Oh, be nice, be nice.
if you fall apart in front of him, I will in your walls.
Be nice
Hunt you down.
Remember,
Be
we want
nice
to try.
to the
Remember, we
Sabres
wanna-
defense line. The Sabres
No,
defense has Owen Power and Cunty Owen Power. What more could you ask for?
Remember, we're
What
trying to. We want to get like actual NHL players on this podcast at one point.
No,
Apologies to
no,
Cal, but
they should just like
not quite an
make me
NHLer.
want. Okay, but like I'm sure they can appreciate and accept the fact that every single time Luukkonen has been in net recently, apart from like the last game, they have completely fallen apart in front of him. It's
We'll
a
have to
well-known
see.
fact.
They're up against the Senators tonight.
Oh,
And the Senators are bad.
well,
They're really bad. It's bad here in Ottawa.
you see, this could either end really, really well. Oh, I was about to say maybe Jeff Skinner will get a hat trick.
Oh, you did that to yourself there.
Oh,
Well,
I hate my life.
Maybe
Um,
Owen Power will score because last time I manifested that.
and he did.
Yeah. Shout out to that fucking Leafs game that happened.
I want another Zemgus Girgensons. So
Just so I've
Give
not been
me
here
another-
breaking free for a while, and I really liked hearing. I really liked it when they scored on my team, and then I just got fucking High School Musical.
Sword. Blood.
Look at me
videos after this,
crying
I'm
by
gonna
the
go
second
sit and
time
just
I
like
heard
watch
that
my Jeff
song when
Skinner
they
edit
played the
on repeat.
Leafs.
Oh my god. I will say we do have one more story before we close out the show. It's kind of Leafs related only because people keep saying he should be signed by the Leafs. I strongly disagree with that. And that is
God.
Corey Perry apparently met with Gary Bettman and was allowed to sign with an NHL franchise. It was weird because it was like Gary Bettman, like it's not like he wasn't allowed before, but he was like still like apparently Corey Perry just like was like, I want to meet with you, Gary, and like have a conversation, and then I'll be good to go to re-sign with teams. But yeah, and a lot of people on the internet are saying that the Leafs should sign him. I don't know why the Leafs need to sign him.
No,
I
we
think-
don't.
Like people are saying, well, he brings good physicality to the fourth line.
Right, yeah, and they're being funny. You can bring all the good physicality you want, but if you don't bring good vibes, we don't want you.
Yeah,
We do
especially
need a good
because
locker room.
especially also as well, if we remember, you know who tries to bring physicality to the fourth line and has very good locker room vibes, and we already pay him a lot of money to do that, but he's currently unfortunately out because he like dislocated his kneecap, but he'll be back. He's back skating and practices and stuff. Is Ryan Reeves.
Yeah.
We have Ryan
Yay.
Reeves.
We don't need anyone else. Just Ryan
We
Reeves.
don't
Only guy on
Right.
the ice.
like I think it's and also as well like it's not that the Leafs are a very physical team now, and I think it's because combination of just who you have in your bottom six and in your bottom defense pairs, but also as well of the fact that Austin Matthews is remembering he knows how to hit and throw hits, which is great.
Matthew Nice.
And Matthew Nyes on that top line. That top line
Oh
is
my god, the Matthew Knives fight. Oh my god.
For the sake
Never
of
forget.
everyone who's listening, but particularly Emma's parents, I will not speak on the Matthew Nice fight.
yeah.
It was
Thank you.
great. Let him do that more often. All
Yeah.
honesty, if he wants to fight, let him
It-
fight.
It was his first fight like ever, he said too, because you don't fight in college because you're all wearing cages, and you also get like suspended if you fight. Like you have to miss the next game or something. But yeah,
I'm
like
gonna need him to do that again.
I think it's great, and
Very
you know, you
serious.
also look at the way that the Leafs defense is built. Jake McCabe can throw some big hits. We've seen it. Simon Benoit throws some big hits. We've seen it. Um, also is willing to fight anyone. He said it himself. Can't score a goal, but will hit the bodies. He said it. There was obviously he swore when he said it, and then they silenced it out. It was so obvious. And then as well, also like who else? Like Max Domi is a physical guy. Trying to think of. See, this is like when I forgot Tyler Bertuzzi existed the other episode, and I was sitting there trying to like list off the Leafs forwards, and I sat there for way too long blanking on Tyler Bertuzzi. But this team is physical, and for the first time in a long time, it is. Like we haven't had a team that has this all-around level of physicality before.
Because my thing is like, if you really badly want someone on the Leafs who is going to throw a punch at someone, but actually can also score a goal very well, then we had that already. We had that last season. Hashtag bring Michael Buntings back.
That's on Brad for not answering Michael Bunting's phone calls.
No, that's literally, it's on Brad. Like, we had a really good player who could be on the top line, score goals, and was also unafraid to beat the shit out of someone. And we just didn't phone him back.
He bleeds blue. And actually, I sent a screenshot from a Sportsnet article to Marcy actually a couple days ago, where it was talking about players who potentially could be moved at the trade deadline. One of those players was Michael Bunting.
Back to us. Bring him home again. Second time.
Bring him home.
Bring him home.
I mean, the team that he was heavily linked to was Pittsburgh, because they were like reunion with Kyle Dubas.
Oh my god, do it. Oh my god. I've not heard those rumors. Oh my god, you can't just tell me that. Oh my
god. Who is listening and cannot physically watch this, Cal has just gone through all 5 stages of grief and in fact invented a new one.
The new one is joy.
No, okay. Oh my god. No, I'm saying no, because for context, my dad is a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. He really likes Sidney. He fucking loves Sidney Crosby. Let's get that. So like there was a level of Pittsburgh Penguin fan in me because I chose my own team. Like we did not converse about hockey. I just went, I like the Leafs, and he was like, wrong choice, but all right. So literally, when we had those 3 games against the Penguins last season, they won, and I opened my door the next morning to my dad had written the score down on a piece of paper and stuck it to my bedroom door. So we won the next game against them, and I snuck into his office at 3 a.m. and I had printed a bunch of photos of different Leafs players off, cut them all out, and I blue tacked all of them to his office. So like that's like what it goes down in my house. But I do like the Penguins because like they've got like Sidney Crosby and stuff. But oh my god, if they brought Michael Buntings to the Penguins, bye guys, converting religions.
The only thing is, Chris Letang would not give up the number 58, so Michael Bunting, you would have to pick a new number.
He can deal with that. I want him on the Pens or Leafs. They're the only options.
If he does do that and has to pick a new number, I vote 57 because that was my old number at my first hockey club.
Ooh, sly.
That's an interesting number for a goalie. 57.
Yeah, because I wasn't originally a goalie. I was kind of like, I became a goalie like basically as soon as like 3 weeks after I joined. So I got 57. And then here I am. I now don't actually have a number. I have transcended the need for a number. I just bring vibes and the occasional bag of Haribos.
And like shutouts as well.
Yeah, I have since the start of November, I would like to flex. I have allowed 4 goals. since the start of November.
And
That's like so cringy
that
of you.
that's like the same amount that like Joseph Wool has allowed since the start of November.
He's also been a bit dead for a bit. Sorry, Marcy, but he has.
Yeah.
You know what? I find there's some irony in in Michael Bunting like wearing number 57 as like if he would wear number 57, because you know who does wear number 50, who did wear number 57?
Marcy, we've just been through this.
No, George Peros, who currently serves as the head of the NHL's Department of Player Safety.
And you know the Department of Player Safety fucking love Bunts. Just
Yeah.
love him.
So there's
Work at the ground with hands on.
there's some irony there.
Oh, that's okay. Now can you do that? Just because that would be funny.
Be absolutely hilarious. As well, also just to end things off with a fun little good story as well, because Marcy sent this in and we want to talk about the PWHL. After going without a goal in her first 2 games in the PWHL, Marie-Philippe Poulin scored a hat trick in Montreal's win over New York. Congratulations, because you guys obviously are not Canadian and don't understand the fact that I've been watching Marie-Philippe Poulin score clutch goals for Team Canada for as long as I can remember. She is fantastic. Captain Clutch for a reason. She is a very talented player and a very amazing player. And yeah, so very excited to watch her light up the PWHL and glad she could get it started with a hat trick. I will say though, hey, dear PWHL Montreal, stop using AI images in your social media posts. Thank you. Hire photographers.
You want to talk about AI?
Are you talking about the Formula E thing?
Yeah, that's
Can't
so
talk
off
about
topic.
this is a hockey podcast, but we can.
Yeah, I'm like after this podcast has ended, I need to tell Marcy this, but that's not for this podcast. That is after the podcast is finished recording.
Which I think we're gonna do now, unless you guys have anything else to ask. I don't know.
Stan Owen Power. There we go. That's it.
That's your contribution.
That's my
Marcy, get it.
Thank you. That was so profound.
So profound, so deep, so newsworthy. So
absolutely, everything he does is newsworthy.
Absolutely. Oh no, Owen Power, what a guy. Another glasses wearing athlete. We love the representation here.
We do. Marcy's the only one not wearing glasses here right now.
Marcy has
representation. There we go.
Yeah.
Yay.
We're all wearing glasses now. Yeah. Cal, thanks so much for joining us. It was
I hope to be
long
back
overdue.
soon.
No, Cal,
I hope to become Clem.
You're allowed back if you actually start listening to us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've never listened to an episode of this podcast. I'm the busiest one out the 3 of us.
Yeah, but like, don't you like have a commute or something?
No, I live about 5 minutes away from the city centre, which is both where my college and my job is.
Oh.
So I'm literally there in about 5 minutes.
Well, you can listen to the show in 5-minute segments.
Yeah, and if you have it like 5 times speed.
It's not like we
oh
talk
god, horrific.
Sound like hamsters.
I love Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh, when did
you mean the Hughes brothers?
Hey.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us on the pod, Cal. Thank you everyone for listening. Cal, where can the people find you? Because we'll leave all this information also as well in the description and the show notes, but for those who don't check them.
I am on Twitter @_neonheart_. My profile does not look hockey related at all, but I promise it's me. It's just my Power Rangers takes over the brain at least once a month. I think that's mainly it. I have a Tumblr, but no one wants that.
I think we all have Tumblrs. Do we ever use them for really anything? Absolutely not.
Oh, I'm a
I
massive
just-
reblogger.
I use
I got the
Tumblr.
aesthetics.
My only use for Tumblr is to every night before I go to sleep check the Joseph Wall tag.
That's
that's
so
about
valid.
it.
It's pretty empty right now, though.
Yeah.
Fucking tell me about it.
Yeah, it is pretty empty right now. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. As always, you can find you can follow the show on Twitter at From the Fourth Line. You can follow both me and Marcy on Twitter at PearB1 and at 60 Leafs. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you on Monday with another episode. Hopefully after some Leaf wins, because they are on a hot streak right now. But let's
Hopefully.
before they jet off on their West Coast road trip next week. So thank you. Goodbye. And go Leafs go.
Go Leafs go.